What's up, guys? Teach Me Grappling. Hey, we've got Parker Hayden already here. We got Brian. I don't know. He's got a pretty cool name. Merrick, what's up, man? Tomazini Wolverine. Thank you. No, I am a little late. Sorry to keep you guys waiting. Parker says, Coach of the Year 2020. I don't know about that, but I appreciate you. Merrick hasn't rolled in a long time. Tim Blake Nelson. I don't even know who that is. Happy New Year, guys. Yeah, I'll be bringing Majid on, Mr. Milan. That will happen. We're going to be doing some lives with Majid sometime in the future, for sure. It is the last day of this year. All right. We got the chat room filling up a little bit. Got 20 people now. So it's going to be a new year, guys. I hope we have an improved year. I'm sure all of you guys are going through the COVID situation. Obviously, I'm in California, so depending on where you are regionally, it's a little bit different from place to place, but it's all good. I'm rolling with the punches. Timothy Roberts likes the tightest Darsh ever. Nice. Is the Anaconda defense the same as the Darsh defense you show? Happy New Year. No, it's not exactly the same, but the general stuff is the same. So any type of arm triangle, you don't want your arm across your neck. You want to try to keep this space open. So in that way, they are very, very similar. So, but the Anacondas, I've said before, I don't think I've shown on video, but the Anaconda can be harder to defend than the Darsh. But it really depends on you allowing somebody to get something tight on you. True defense is not allowing the technique to be sunk, so to speak, whatever that technique is. If it's a rear naked choke, if it's an arm bar, Darsh, doesn't matter. You can't let it get sunk. Guillotines. So anyway, I don't really have like a subject today, guys. It's just kind of like, let's just chat, and I'll try to answer as many questions as I can. I want to thank all of you guys for a great year. For Teach Me Grappling, it's been huge. Notably, we hit the 100,000 subscriber mark a couple months ago or so. I know I said I was going to do a giveaway, which we're still planning on doing. So Anton and I have talked about it. We're going to try to give away some rash guards coming up. I need to get a new order of t-shirts so we can do a giveaway. That's really what's been holding me up, to be honest with you guys. I still don't have t-shirts in my possession. I do have rash guards in my possession, so I will be kind of like giving away some rash guards and some t-shirts. So we want to celebrate. I really appreciate you guys. Without you guys, the channel wouldn't be what it is. So I know a lot of you guys always give me praise every single day. I get something from someone across the world, which is really, really nice. But really, truly, thank you. Can't do it without you. So it's nice that I have people that want to hear me yap about stuff. So anyway, Simon says, what is your opinion on Cradles for grappling? BJJ. Some say it's going to be the new meta. No, it's not. My opinion on cradles. Uh, as you guys probably know, I'm a wrestler, so I'm very familiar with uh, cradles. And the problem with cradles, the reason why you guys don't see cradles in BJJ or grappling very often, it's not to say that they can't work or don't work at all. That's not it. But it's that they just they're just not that useful. They're not as useful as wrestlers like to think they are. Um, if you want to use a cradle to dominate your opponent for a moment, to take them down, to control them, maybe there's a few setups here or there you can hit. You can use a cradle maybe to get into a knee bar, or use a cradle to get into an arm triangle. Or in a street fight, use a cradle to beat the shit out of someone with knees to the face. That kind of situation is great, but when it comes to the submission game, locking up a cradle typically is a waste of your grip. It's kind of inefficient. You're locking your hands around your opponent's neck and knee. So you've got one elbow around his neck and the other elbow around the knee, and you're connecting your hands, and it's a very inefficient use of your grip, because you can't really move very well when you have a cradle. You can hold them for a little while, but all he has to do is just apply force with his legs, and open up his body. And I'm not saying he can open up a cradle. Wrestlers know that if they're strong, they can hold cradles for, a fairly long time, but that's because they're going for pins. And when I say fairly long time, I mean like a minute or two. And what's the payoff? In wrestling, you get the pin. It's worth it. In jiu-jitsu, you hold him. So how long are you going to hold? And then at the end of that hold, let's just say you held a cradle for a minute. If you guys are the same size, your arms are going to be gassed. Okay. And the person underneath can really just relax and then apply some force in a very relaxed manner. And it's just going to wear your grip out. So sure, could I dominate someone with a cradle? Yes, I could. But if I was with someone who was my level, my size, or even bigger than me, what would a cradle truly do? Not a whole lot. It's a momentary grip that I will use at times to get behind someone, to take someone down. I'll use cradles to take someone down, sometimes from a front headlock. But I'm not going to sit there and hold a cradle unless I can strike. If I can knee the guy in the face, then it makes sense. If you're just trying to hold him, it's kind of a waste. So I'm sorry to cradle lovers out in the world, but it's my opinion that a cradle it's more like momentary control. So I'm not saying that there isn't stuff out there. There probably is stuff I don't know about cradles, but I am willing to bet you, just from my chess intuition, that it leads towards many dead ends. I in my beginning, I tried to use cradles, and I quickly found that it was more of a waste of time against anyone who was skilled. So anyway, Ryan Liu, I appreciate the Catch Jitsu Dan the Wolfman reference as the title for the Catch Wrestling video, by the way. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but Ryan, so I'm not sure. Xavier, what's up, man? Can you sign my face? We got Xavier Govidian. He's looks like one of our Purple Belt members. So that's kind of cool. I can tell who's one of our members in the chat. He says, can you sign my face? I don't know, brother. I don't know if I could do that right now, but yeah, maybe someday. So happy New Year, you guys. Watching your videos help me with grappling. That's great. My no-gi coach needs some pointers for passing guard on someone with long legs and a tight closed guard squeeze. Yes. That's hard. You get trying to pass somebody's guard who's got great, I wouldn't even say long legs. I would more say flexible long legs. Very difficult to pass the guard. Flexibility is a major contributing factor to the reason why guard players are so difficult to deal with is flexibility level. When they have a great flexibility level, they can do wonders. So, and if he's got a tight closed guard squeeze, it's hard to open. You must stand up, and then when you stand up, you're running risks of getting swept, things like that. If you can't punch him in the face, it becomes a really tough challenge to deal with a tight closed guard. So anyway. Oh, so Ryan says the title. Do you know Catch Wrestling, bro? Yeah, that actually didn't have to do with Dan the Wolfman, but I don't know that reference with Dan, but I do know Dan personally, guys. I trained with Dan a couple times, several years back, but I think I met Dan. I want to say 2007 or 8. First time I met him, he actually came and trained at Big John McCarthy's for like a couple days or something like that. Maybe it was just one day, but yeah, I thought it was a couple days. So he was actually there in my practices with my fight team, and then I also got to roll with him at a buddy's gym in Burbank. This had to be like 7-8 years ago, but anyway, yeah, I don't know the reference to catch wrestling. Like I know he claims to do catch wrestling. So I know he uses that, he flies that flag is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I just basically I don't remember exactly the reason for that title. It was obviously I was trying to I fly the flag at jiu-jitsu most of the time, and I do kind of tout myself as a diverse grappling instructor, but that's why I kind of like said that, because I do get catch wrestlers mentioning like on my channel all the time. Like, I guess there's definitely quite a few that will watch my videos, and some of them like what I show, some of them don't like what I show or what I say. But I just want them to understand that like I'm well aware of many catch wrestling things. So I just don't always. I will mention it. I'll give them some credit, but I obviously I give most of the credit to jiu-jitsu because I feel like it's been the major evolver of grappling, especially in my lifetime. In the last 20-30 years, it's pretty obvious that jiu-jitsu, as we do it today, has changed the grappling world more than any other grappling art. Judo had its time. Wrestling is obviously amazing as well, but when it comes to the overall grappling game, jiu-jitsu is kind of what's woken everybody up. Wrestling was always there, but if you go back to 1990 and you take the wrestlers of 1990 or the judo guys of 1990s, and if they were to face the best jiu-jitsu guys, they really didn't know what to do on the ground. And I mean, again, I'm not trying to talk shit, but I'm just telling it like I'm calling it how I see it. So anyway, Wolfman looks like he has a little ego. Yeah, he does. So he's always telling me about when I when I show moves, he'll mention to me that I did a catch wrestling move, or it's a move that he showed before, something like that. And I honestly I almost never watch his stuff, so I don't know if I'm duplicating the things he does. But he is good though. Dan does know a lot of stuff. He's a classic catch wrestling coach. He knows a lot of shit. And they always like to do a lot of lock flows where they submission. So it's kind of cool. Anyway, Got any details for Thomas wants to know? Got any details for the reaping heel hook when someone mounts? I put my left ankle under the right heel and it seems to work well. Got any details for the reaping heel hook when someone mounts? Left ankle under the right heel. I'm just confused. I'm confused on which one you mean, Thomas. You're going to have to elaborate on that. Ryan, he has a video with the same name? I totally did not know that. So I have not seen it. I'm going to watch it now. So I will be looking that up, Ryan. I did not know I duplicated the title. That was unintentional. Had no clue. So I have never seen that video. So thank you so much, Leonardo. I don't know if I have the #1 channel, but I appreciate you. And there's a lot of good channels out there that are also very good. And I want to do a video someday soon on a lot of people who I believe are great and who are influences on me. So, can someone learn jiu-jitsu without a partner? Only theory, not really. Cold treasure. You kind of need a partner. I'm just being real with you. It's good to do mental training like that, but you do need a partner. You have to train if you really want to get real skill. What do I think of Khabib's shirt that says, if Sambo was easy, it would be called jiu-jitsu? I thought it was hilarious. I can take jokes, guys, and I totally understand what he means because oftentimes I make fun of jiu-jitsu. I'm constantly talking about how jiu-jitsu is too soft and they need to be a little bit more like wrestlers. So I honestly do believe that judo shares more in common with wrestling than it does with jiu-jitsu. Many times a judo guy will get along really well with a wrestler, and I'm talking about with their styles, their mentality. They share a very similar mentality, much more than a jiu-jitsu mentality of most. Not all, just most. So John Danaher has published an instructional on takedowns for, oops, you guys are moving my message feed right here. So, okay. John Danaher has published an instructional on takedowns for BJJ with some techniques like the ankle pick, collar drags that could be mastered in 6 months to have a good takedown arsenal, as we know. Yeah, I believe I saw that video. So I thought it was done pretty well. Do you believe that is something to choose as a strategy? I thought John Danaher did a really good job with that video. I do not agree that the ankle pick is that good of a technique. I don't think that I would contend that the ankle pick is not as good as he says it is as a beginner technique. I understand his points, and I totally know where he's coming from. I don't think that's the best way to do it. I think it's much better to teach a single leg instead of an ankle pick. I mean, these are like small little details, but I think you're going to get a lot more mileage on a single leg and a double leg than you will on an ankle pick personally. So anyway, I just think that he has fallen in love with an ankle pick for some reason. He probably watched a lot of Cael Sanderson. I don't think he has as much experience with takedowns and competing, and so I think he's sitting on the couch quarterbacking that one. But other than that, he's still taught great. I mean, he's an outstanding instructor. So anyway, can you make a video on an escape when someone has you on side control from where they are on their hip facing your legs? Yes, that's like what I call reverse keskatami. They tend to have their elbow on the right against your hips. Elbow on the right against your hips. That actually confuses me. But yeah, like reverse Keskatami, I need to do a video on that. Never done anything on that I can remember, so need to do an escape video on that. Flexible guards are hard to pass. I come most close to passing flexible guys with stacking. Like I take a C grip on their ankles, yes, and lift them. How to counter when they go heavy hips. Yes, Simon, the when you stack someone who's really flexible and you just underhook their legs, like a stacking double underpass, it can be really hard because they're so flexible. If you can get to where that you get those C clamps, it's way more effective because when a guy's super flexible, he can deal with this. You don't have enough pressure to cause him to want you to pass his guard. With a normal level of flexibility, when you get a double underpass and you stack someone, they really just want you to guard pass because they're sick of the pressure. And flexible guys don't feel that pressure because they're flexible. So they have an ability to stay in that position and not lose a lot of energy and drain their energy. So, using that C grip on the ankles is great. If they're going heavy hips, like right when you do it, it's usually because they rotate their ankles and you can't control them anymore. But if you can get them far enough, you're usually pretty good. There's definitely some things I can show on a future video for when guys will kind of invert and throw some monkey wrenches in your guard pass. But you have the right idea, I believe, by trying to go there. It's one of the better ways to deal with them. But there is no easy pathway to passing a good guy's guard who is very, very flexible. So anyway, that's good subject for a video in the future. Any tips for hand fighting, John? Yes, I do have tips for hand fighting. Again, what can I do on a video right here talking to you guys? So those are all great ideas for the video. And every time I see the question posed, it's implanting the seed in my head to hopefully do a video on that in the future. I do get these questions quite often, every single day of my life. So I can only do one video at a time. So I know that there's many videos that I still haven't done, and I'm really trying, guys. And I do read everything you guys say. I don't always reply. I'm very busy, but I am listening. So I live in the UK where my access to good wrestling is limited. I'm a BJJ Brown and done judo for 6 years. Are there any books you can recommend to enhance my wrestling? Already have Cejudo's Wrestling for Dummies. You know, Shaka Zulu, I don't really recommend books. It's probably because I just don't read them. Can't read. But but no, really, it's not where I get my inspiration. I don't look at books. I don't, I will watch videos from time to time. I'm a little bit more interactive with videos. I feel like I can learn more from videos. So it's kind of why I got into YouTube in the first place. I felt that it was a good way to get techniques down. So I'm sorry I can't recommend a wrestling book. Back in the day, I think I do own a couple wrestling books because over the years I've collected a couple, and honestly, I can't even remember the names of them. They're probably packed away in the attic. But um, I'm sorry I can't help you. But man, as far as books go, there's probably so many out there, and with Amazon, you can probably just look up wrestling books and you'll get tons. I'm sorry I can't really help you there. Do you think everyone should learn wrestling or judo at some point? Hell yeah. Why not? So so it looks like John Hester really, really wants to know about hand fighting. Um, I'll do a video very, very soon, John. So I'll do a video on hand fighting very, very soon. You've asked twice. I will get to it eventually. So um All right. In Ertugrul, 1865, make Americana great again. Coach, can you make a video about make it the most effective Americana? Yes, I can try to do a video on that. So again, guys, if you guys just keep giving me like video ideas, I'm gonna get bombarded. See ya. Bye. So my roommate is leaving and saying goodbye. Okay, so Thomas, here's a clarification on his question. I guess I wasn't clear. When mounted, I reap the right leg. I'm flexible. I then push the guy backwards and heel hook is there. Yeah, no, that's great. So I would recommend you try to get your left knee inside position as you do it. If you're just throwing your leg over, that can be a little dangerous on your knee as you get a little older. If you're young and flexible and strong, obviously maybe it poses no problem to you and you'll get the knee in eventually. That's a great technique. Nothing wrong with that. So I don't know what else to tell you. So I want to transfer information with you guys or like answer questions, but if everybody just wants me to do like ideas for videos, I'm just reading them out loud and I feel like I'm not giving you guys anything, but Happy New Year. Thank you guys so much. Let me try to move on. Sell a t-shirt that says stop pussifying jiu-jitsu. I'd buy it. Leonardo. Yeah. So thank you guys. So many thank yous. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Can one learn striking without a partner? Yeah, you can't really learn striking. I will say you can learn more about striking without a partner than grappling. Grappling is one of those things where you really, really need a partner to kind of work with. You can do it with a dummy, a training dummy, like I have these dummies in my gym, but they're decent. But striking, you can do a whole lot. You can shadow, you can work your footwork, you can strike, you can hit the bags. There's so many different things you can do with striking, double end bag, heavy bag. You can use a slip rope. You can do a lot more things. You still have to fight at some point. At least get with a partner, have them throw punches at you, learn how to deal with it. Even if it's light and it's not real, even if the guy's just lightly tapping you with gloves on and you have a mouthpiece or headgear or even nothing, just light touches, that does wonders for your understanding and your reactions and your movement. But you can get pretty far, decently far striking without a partner, but grappling without a partner, you can do hip escapes down the floor and bridges on your own and, shots and sprawls and all that. But you can get in decent shape doing some drills, but it's not going to mean that you can actually grapple. So, all right. Marcelo asks, what was your toughest injury? To answer that question, if you mean I assume you mean in grappling or martial arts, because I was in a very bad motorbike accident when I was in Thailand. Some of you guys know the stories, probably many of you don't. I don't know how much I've spoken about it, but this is a non-jiu-jitsu or a martial art story. But I was in Thailand and we were training. I brought a couple of my guys there. I was helping to teach a little bit at Tiger Muay Thai while I was there to also take my guys so they could get better at kickboxing, learning the Thai style. And then also I was taking, Muay Thai lessons as well while I was there. So each day I would wake up in the morning, do a class or do a private lesson. And I would also do the grappling class. And they once I got there, they pretty much, they hooked me up. So they took care of my room and board or whatever. And while I was there, in exchange for that, I would just teach classes. So this is back in I want to say 2010. So it's been 10 years. I was on a motorbike. I have no memory really of the accident, but I got in a motorbike accident over there. I have no memory. Stupid, wasn't wearing a helmet. I cracked my skull. So if you guys, there's a little bit of lighting right here. This is a metal plate. I have metal plates all in my face here. I have a crack in my upper right here, this whatever you call, not your orbital, I believe the top up here. I believe this is your orbital, but maybe the whole thing is, I don't know. Anyway, I've got a crack up here in the skull, 5 metal plates here. I have a piece of plastic that was put in, kind of supporting everything. All these bones were smashed. I'm numb from right here down my face, the middle of my lip, this side, my teeth. Right here, I'm numb. Goes to my ear, traces up my head, and comes around the middle side of my skull. So that line that I drew right there, this patch, it feels like it's asleep, like when your arm falls asleep. So I'm very lucky that I was able to get my movement back. So I didn't, the nerves, I have nerve damage because it doesn't, it feels like it's asleep, but not when your arm completely falls asleep, you can't move it. But if you guys know that feeling, that pins and needles feeling of when you're starting to get movement back in your hand, that's what I feel pretty much all the time. But my brain has done a pretty good job of turning it off, so to deal with it. So this feeling, as I talk about it right now, I notice it's there. When I move, I notice it's there. But when I'm normally not thinking about it, my brain turns it off, and as long as I'm not moving, it's almost like it's not there. But if I pay attention, I automatically notice it's always there and it never goes away. So I had 6 months of vertigo. So I was dizzy every day I got up. I could not look up or move my head. It was a pretty bad trauma to my body. And I was able to get over it. So 6 months, waking up every day dizzy, could not look up and down. I had to make sure I was looking straight forward. I would lose my equilibrium. I could fall. I could walk and do normal things, but if I did anything like that, or if I execute a forward roll, there's no way. If I execute a forward roll, I would immediately feel like I was flipping around and rolling. I would be totally out of it. So anyway, overcame that, and now I'm just happy that I can do basic stuff. It does hurt. So if I occasionally, when I would grapple, again, guys, lately I have not been able to grapple because of my knees, and I'll get to that next, my actual grappling related injuries. But if I get headbutted in the eye, it feels like somebody just smashed my face. It's like the worst. It feels like somebody stabbing you with a knife. So it's horrible. So, but it doesn't happen often. Truly, I think that 10 years, everything has already come together. So even though the plates and everything is going to stay in for the rest of my life, I think it's stronger. It's probably stronger than the other side, but it feels weaker. So if I get hit, it feels like it feels like I just broke my face again, and then it goes away. So every single time I've ever been smashed in the face with a punch, or I try to not do very much striking in the last 10 years, but I have done a little here or there. And for a while, I would just wear a face mask. It would like block all facial strikes. I wore it for a year to 2 years grappling. I would wear my face mask. And then I realized I could just not wear it. It wasn't a big deal. And then I got smashed in the face a couple times. And the first time I thought, oh no, I got to go straight to the hospital. But the pain went away after a minute, and then it was gone like it never happened. So it's more like just nerve damage. It isn't really bothering me, other than this plate and this plate tends to poke through the skin if I get hit. So if I get punched in the eye, you can almost see it with the lighting. See that little divot right there? That's actually a metal plate. And then this one's the easiest. Right there. There's a little bump. That's a metal plate. So it rips. It rips through the skin when I get hit in the face. So it sucks, but got to live with it. Made a mistake. What can I do? I'm just happy to be alive. I didn't die. So I ripped one of my toes off in that accident. I don't know how, but the skin had pulled off the toe, and my toe was sideways. So kind of like my finger. So I've had this is broken finger from 22 years ago grappling. Um, that's happened to my toe. They straightened it out, drove a pin through it, and my toe was pretty much normal. I mean, for the most part, but that was the extent of those injuries. And going to my grappling injuries, guys, knees. You got to take care of your knees, man. I'm 42, almost 43. I know you guys, some of you guys are older than me, and you guys probably already know this. You guys have knees that are probably have issues. My knees have really, really taken a beating. So, been grappling for 26 years, maybe going on 27. The knees are really taking a beating, and I just fucked my knee up again a couple weeks ago, screwing around with some guy who didn't know much. He was kind of went spazzy on me and yanked my ankle, and I got hurt. So I basically have two messed up knees. I'm wearing a brace. I can do basic walking around. I can probably jog with my brace. I cannot grapple. I was teaching a move today, and I got hurt. And I didn't say anything to anybody, but I felt it kind of get hurt again. And that was with the brace on. I was just kind of demonstrating. So my knees are screwed up. It is the most frustrating thing in the world to have messed up knees. It means that when I um, deal with takedowns, again, I can demonstrate. And I don't know if you guys noticed, that's probably why I haven't been doing a lot of videos with me doing stuff. And people want to see rolling videos with me rolling. I would love to do that, but I'm right now, until I'm probably going to have to get surgery. I'm not sure, but I got to get an MRI on both knees. Both of them are giving me some serious problems. They are not stable, and they hurt, and there's something wrong in there. I don't know if it's I believe this last one is an LCL. So to my knowledge, I don't think they're going to do surgery on it, just based on a lot of injuries that people have with their LCL. But I had a full ACL reconstruction on the one I just hurt. That ACL reconstruction was like 9 years ago. And right after my Thailand accident, I ended up once I recovered from that, I ended up tearing my knee. And full ACL reconstruction plus 2 meniscus tears. It was a horrible recovery. If you guys have had an ACL reconstruction, it's not just a couple months. It really took like a year. 6 months I could do basic stuff, but I wasn't good for at least a year. And maybe a year and 2-3 months later, I felt like I was 100%, close to 100. It's never quite the same, but I felt like I had a pretty good doctor, and I thought it was pretty good. Anyway, so there's a long story about knees and motorbike accidents. So be careful if you guys ever ride a motorbike of any sort, even if it's a moped in Thailand. Um, you could get fucked up. So, but I'm pretty happy I'm alive today, and I get to talk to you guys. So it's pretty cool. So let's see. Other than escapes, can you make a series about controlling the opponent? Yes, of course. Oh man, lost my spot. Alonit 2000. Welcome to Purple Belt, buddy. Thank you so much for being a part of our membership. been a Patreon subscriber for a while, looking forward to the extras as a purple belt member. Guys, I really got to give you guys a little bit more content. It's been, with the holiday season, and, I went to Las Vegas for the holiday and I was gone, and I have not been putting, I hope you guys are cool with, I feel like pressure. If you guys don't know this, from me to you, I feel pressure all the time to get content out. It's not something I do not want to slip. I do not want to stop helping you guys. I feel like I owe it to you guys. And I like that feeling. I like feeling like I need to get it done. Like I have to give you guys something. So I'm a very, what's the word? Like I'm crazy. I'm like disorganized, and I do a lot of things with my life. Like people don't even understand like how many things I do. And I'm not saying I'm the hardest worker in the world, but I do a lot of things. And because I'm doing all these different things, I don't get a lot of sleep, and I'm working my ass off, and I want to get you guys content. So what I'm saying is I have already filmed several things I got to drop into our membership so that purple belt and up, you guys will get to have access to some extra videos that I don't just give away for free. And most of them are a glimpse into our classes. So most of them. So 90% of them will probably just be filmed classes. You'll get to see the lessons that we do in class, sparring sessions of my guys, things like that. So, and then if I get more ideas, we'll do more. So anyway, more to come in 2021 for sure. In fact, I have one video already, I believe, edited. I literally just have to upload it. It should not take me very long. After this, I've got to go spend some time with my girl and her son. So, I am excited to go see them. So I probably won't be able to do it tonight, but I'll try to get to that this weekend. 100%, I will get to it. Okay. Thanks, Coach Brian. Me and one of my buddies that trained some together were watching your video on incorporating judo flips and also the finish him armbar video. Your detail helped us tremendously. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I feel, guys, let me express something I feel. I'm going to do a video on this subject I've been thinking about. There's something wrong with YouTube. I'll just rant a little bit. But this is probably going to be made into a YouTube video. Probably where I'm in the gym and I'm going to just talk about this subject. YouTube is moving. It's always been this way. It's been moving in this direction where you have to be provocative to get people to watch your channel. So what it turns into is it's like this show where, even I do it all the time. If you guys read any of my titles, most of the time, 90% of the time, there's at least one word in that title that is strategically put into the title to get you to watch that video. If the word is amazing, it's amazing, right? If I say this armbar is amazing, you're going to click on that video because I told you it was amazing. If I said armbar from the mount, nobody would click on it because everybody would say, I know what an armbar from the mount is. But if I say this armbar from the mount is fantastic, whatever, that sounds stupid, but corny, but it's going to make people click on it more. So YouTubers, Icy Mike says I suck at YouTube, but I do a little bit of the YouTuber stuff, whether it be the thumbnail, the words that go on the thumbnail to get you to click. We have to do that to get your attention. And so what it also does is it makes people make videos that are just trying to be exciting, to entertain. So we're going to show you the crazy technique. Check out this buggy choke. I still got to get you guys a buggy choke video. I'll talk more about buggy choke right after this subject. But it's things like that that make YouTube videos like it has to be crazy, wild. And I hate that it's going in that direction. Part of me loves it because I have a lot of unique things that I do. But at the same time, I hate it because it means that I can show a perfectly good video on how to finish an armbar. Whoops. So you guys, that's your boy Majid. What's up, Majid?
Hey, buddy, how's it going?
Hey, it's going pretty good. You're live right now. I'm on YouTube live right now. So
I'm
so
so sorry. Well, happy New Year to all of you guys, to all the warriors out there, and for me and Brian. I don't know how I jumped on this call.
That's all right. You're now live. Everybody's listening to you right now. We got 62 people listening to you. So you got see pressure's on. You got to say something cool.
Well, here's the coolest thing I can tell you. You have stepped into the era of 2021. You're dealing with the greatest warriors just sitting from your home. How would this be possible about 5 or 10 years ago? Because you have managed to put this time, look into these amazing teachers, and we're lucky to share our wisdom with you guys. And I'm happy working with Brian, and you guys are so lucky to stay with us and able to see what we have to offer.
So yeah, Merrick says Happy New Year to you, Majid, and also to Coach Anton. So
my regards to them. Thank you, G. Happy New Year's to you guys.
Oh, Coach Anton's there, huh? I didn't even notice that. No, Coach Anton's he's in the chat room. What's up, Anton? So yeah, they Merrick says you got the best hair on the mats, hands down. Or it could be Coach Anton. I don't know who he means.
Well, he has a good taste of hairstyle, I gotta say.
So awesome. Limited edition says Majid is a legend.
Well, you know, I want to say that everybody talks about you have to look a certain look. You have to look like a martial artist. Well, the whole idea of martial artists is to be like just like another being, another human being walking on this earth. They should be an ordinary man, but their actions make some difference who they are. But if you start making all these images, you have to walk a certain way, you have to have a haircut a different way, you lost the whole concept of being a true warrior.
All right. So Majid, people were asking when I first started today, we're going to do a live stream at some point with you and I talking about stuff, maybe reviewing fights or anything, talking about just doing interviews, hanging out.
I think it's a great idea. I would love that. That's the whole idea. I think it'd be great. By the way, I was planning to go to Austin, Texas. I've been listening to Brian. I think he's compelling me not to move to Austin, Texas. How did you go, Brian? I'm not joking. This was 100%. I was supposed to go there. And I'm rethinking because of the corona. And I think what we have established with you and me, the videos that we have created, it's remarkable. I love the chemistry we have. We never rehearse, and we just go on live with one take, and that's it.
Yep. Well, all right, Majid. Let me get back to this live stream. Yes. Everybody loves you, as do I.
Please tell them I love them. Thank you for your support. I really means a lot to me. That thanks to you, they have managed to see me, and because of you, Brian, I want to say thank you for 2020. And I'm looking forward to 2021 to have a better relationship on the YouTube and all the stuff. I want to thank you for all your fans who have trusted in me and able to get my knowledge with you. I'm so happy and so excited. And I think maybe I might put a YouTube channel live. I might have to call you up. You have to call me up on my YouTube channel live about an hour from now.
Yeah. Maybe we got to do that.
The only problem is I got 10 followers. So.
No. Majid, I've seen you. You got over 1,000 subscribers now.
So, really? must missed up the number. It must be
No,
0.
you've got over 1,000, dude. That's pretty cool. You just started your channel, really, as far as like the martial arts stuff. So, everybody in this chat room, if you have not subscribed to Majid, go over and subscribe to Majid's channel. Give him some love.
You guys. I'm so happy. And Brian, thanks again. Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.
Can't be more excited about this upcoming year. Something good is coming one way or the other.
Yeah. I'll call you back when I'm done. All right, brother? We'll talk. Later. All right. So there you go. Little interruption from Majid. But guys, what I was talking about, let me see if I can pick up where I left off, was the video's got to get crazy, right? And I make this video on doing an armbar, and I'm thinking to myself, just being honest, guys, I'm thinking to myself, man, this is great content. It was the one with me and Anton, part 1, the finisher, armbar finisher series that I want to start. And there's a lot of great details of grappling in that video. And I realize this could be said about a lot of videos. I can almost argue with every video we do, but I felt like that video deserved more love and more views. But everyone wants to see, Coach Brian take on a big 350 pounder. That video's got like 1.2 million views, as an example, the one with the guillotine or guillotine. So why is that? I mean, like, people don't care about the basics, but we need to teach the basics. And the basics are going to help you guys the most. Teaching you guys how to finish these arm bars is going to be huge. So I've got to one, I got to try to make it attractive so you guys can click on it. But at the same time, this isn't good, because what it means is most of you out there, I'm not saying every one of you, but most of you out there are more likely to click on a video that it just looks cool. It may not have the best content. It may not have the best technique in it, but if it's presented to you, if it's palatable, then you will swallow it. So, we need, I guess there's not much I can do about that other than try to come up with an attractive thumbnail, great title and stuff. But I just want to say that. So maybe it's me though. I got to push this. How about this idea? I got to get you guys to click that thumbs up button a lot more. So I know you guys do. I know several of you guys do. But if we can get more people to do that, if you guys go thumbs up on these videos that are really, really good, obviously my channel, you got to do it all the time, but maybe it will trend more, and then this information will get out there more, and it'll show the world more. Because when I see some videos, I'll get 10,000 views, and I'm like, that was an okay video, but this video over here had 3 times the content, in my opinion. It was 3 times as good as this video, and it only has 2,000 views. And I'm like, this is not right. We got to figure out how to change that. And I guess it's my responsibility. I'm the one that's with the YouTube channel. But think about that, guys. Like, do you click on channels or click on videos because they look really cool? Or, are you really, really looking for the best content? And I know, obviously, I would like to think that you guys love my channel because it's good content. So, and anyway, so it's just a thought. There's so much out there that is just, it's all just to wow you. And then I realize I'm trying to do that all the time, but I want the technique to wow you. I really hope that that my channel is not as big as it is with 100,000 subscribers just because I do a clever title or clever thumbnail, if that makes sense. So anyway, I'll stop with that. So there was something else I was going to go to, and I already forgot it now. I had something I was going to talk about after that subject, and now I already forgot it. Anyway, so Coach Anton's waiting on his sushi order. So sushi sounds really good. Anyway, trying to scan through. Again, thank you guys. I'm reading your like all of your praise, guys. So I may not be able to read everybody's question out loud or their comment out loud, but what they don't want you to know about wrestling in BJJ. Yeah, like stuff like that. That would make you click. What would you say are the main differences between judo and wrestling? If you had any students who came from judo background, what adjustments did you have to make in their stance and grip game? Well, Shaka Zulu, great question. If obviously what I'm teaching is no-gi, so we're not gripping clothing. So if you come from judo, automatically you have to learn the grips of wrestling, and that is not intuitive right away. Some of the grips are intuitive, like reaching around, grabbing a collar tie on the neck. That's pretty intuitive for a judo guy. It's not hard for them to figure out on their own. Reaching around the body and gripping the lat muscle, things like that are pretty intuitive. Grabbing a wrist is fairly intuitive, but learning the way to grip an elbow control or an inside tie a certain way, those are usually have to be trained. So you got to learn the grips. I think that judo guys tend to, because they're used to gripping the clothing, when they try to execute their throws, the grips they choose just aren't, they're usually not that solid. Their moves still work, and they definitely can make it work if they're good with their throws, but the grips can be improved. The stance is definitely a little bit of an issue, because when you can't control your opponent's kimono, gi top, wrestlers can level change and penetrate on leg attacks and double legs, single legs, things like that. And that can be a problem if you're not in a bent low enough stance in a grappling scenario. But it doesn't mean that judo guys can't overcome it. Great judo guys like Jason Morris were wrestlers as well as great judo guys. And he did outstanding in wrestling using his judo for the most part. I mean, it's not like he was a judo guy that went and learned tons of wrestling and became a wrestler. I'm not saying he doesn't know wrestling. He does, but what I'm saying is he without a doubt used judo in wrestling. And if you watch his techniques, 98% of his movements are from judo. They're not from wrestling. So I'm sure he picked up a few tricks, but he's still doing judo. I'll tell you guys a story about Henner Gracie real quick. If you guys know who Henner Gracie is, everybody knows Henner. Henner is very, very famous for the Gracie Breakdown channel, son of Horian Gracie, probably one of the most famous YouTube Gracies, right? He's huge. He was the guy with the hero hoodie or the quick flip, was on Shark Tank. Everybody knows Henner, does all the great breakdowns. Dude is incredibly successful, runs the Gracie University with his brother. So Henner was in high school. When he was in high school, I was a wrestling coach. So I actually was coaching when he was in high school. I'm a little bit older than him. So when I was a coach, I went to a wrestling tournament. And who did I see? I was down in Torrance. Henner Gracie is like warming up for his wrestling match, and people tell me, they go, "Oh, that's Horian's son." And I'm like, "Oh, really? Horian's son is a wrestler now?" And so I actually watched several of his wrestling matches in high school. And Henner never really learned wrestling all that much. I mean, he knows some wrestling. But what I mean is, just like Jason Morris, now he wasn't as good at judo as Jason Morris, but very similar. What did he do when he wrestled? He did jiu-jitsu and judo. I mean, Henner would go out there in a more upright stance. He would grab guys and pummel with them, try to get body locks. He would do trips and foot sweep kind of techniques. Basically, like kind of like old school Gracie, get in the clinch. And if he got double underhooks on people, it was usually curtains. And if he got taken down, he would sit on his butt and play seated guard a little bit. And his butterfly sweeps were unstoppable until he got to a very high level. So maybe not the whole time, because I remember he did really well because he'd been doing jiu-jitsu since he was born. But he definitely made it to a very high level, made it to masters. It's hard for me to remember every year because we're talking about 1998, 97, 90, 99, believe 1999, somewhere around there. He made it to state. As far as I can remember, he was, I think, a match away from placing one year. And I do believe he placed in the state of California, which is a very big accomplishment. If he did not place his senior year, although I think he did, I think he got 6th. That's my best guess, 6th or 8th. And if he didn't, then he was a match away from placing. It was one or the other. So I kind of forget and I confuse because he was around the same time as Joe Daddy Stevenson. He also was a high school wrestler when I was coaching, and Joe Stevenson was an overtime match from placing in the state of California. It is very difficult to do that in the state of California. Most people think of wrestling, they think of Iowa and all that. Well, obviously Penn State. Pennsylvania is the best state in the nation for wrestling, but you've got New Jersey, Ohio, you've got great states like that, but California is right there in the mix. Definitely probably the 3rd, 4th best state in the United States. And the thing that makes our state the toughest state championship, with the only arguable competitor being Pennsylvania, and I would still argue ours is tougher than theirs, is because we mash every single kid in our state into one state championship. And the sheer numbers, we have almost 1,000. We have over 900 high schools, between 900 and 1,000 high schools that are all competing for one single state championship. Went off on a wrestling high school rant, but it makes it very prestigious to place in the state. To even go to the state is very difficult. And Henner Gracie did. And I believe he was at least a match away. My memory is a little foggy on it. But he was doing jiu-jitsu. And only at the highest levels could those guys stop his jiu-jitsu from working in a wrestling match. Now, getting back to Shaka Zulu's question, went off on a little down a rabbit hole right there, but on adjustments. Henner didn't really make a lot of adjustments. I would watch his matches and I was like, Henner, like, just listen to your wrestling coaches and try to do wrestling. He was trying to do jiu-jitsu all the time, and that's part of the reason he succeeded, but it's also the reason why he ultimately could not compete at the highest level with the best guys in the state. Those matches were pretty lopsided when he went with the top, 5 guys in the state. But, you've got to make adjustments to your stance. You've got to learn how to penetrate on shots. Leg attacks are very important with wrestling. If you're not going to be the greatest double legger, single legger, things like that, you've got to at least immerse yourself in it and learn how to sprawl and work those positions. It's kind of like in jiu-jitsu, you have to learn passing the guard and utilizing the guard. Or in wrestling, you have to learn how to shoot and you have to learn how to defend someone shooting on you. And that's a very big part of wrestling. So that's what I'll say. Those are the adjustments that I would make if I was training a judo guy. I would work on his grips, like you mentioned, his stance. You mentioned it already, so you obviously know that. And I would try to teach him a little bit of the things that are different, which are leg attacks. Because judo, especially nowadays, I mean, you're not even allowed to leg pick, knee pick, fireman's carry. You can't even do that stuff anymore in competitions. So they've basically banned all, grabbing of the legs with your hands. So you can only foot sweep and use your legs to do trips. Can't use your hands, which is just to me ridiculous. But anyway, moving on. So we're already here. We're just over an hour. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Okay, Marvin liked my Henner story. I probably have more stories on that, but it's just I can't always remember everything. Hatebreed, Pennsylvania wrestler. I will admit, though, Pennsylvania overall is the best wrestling state in the United States. I will not, when I say by far, I mean it's completely obvious. They're not way better than Ohio, New Jersey, California, but they are clearly the number one state. Clearly. So they produce the best guys. So, and I will at least say this. California wrestling loses a lot of its, it doesn't get a lot of credit because all of our best wrestlers leave our state and then they go wrestle for Pennsylvania, for Iowa, for places outside of California. So when people hear about our wrestlers, they hear about Jake Varner, Olympic champion. They don't even know that he's from California because he wrestled for Penn State and he's an NC2A champ for Penn State. And then he becomes an Olympic gold medalist, but he's actually a California kid. And he grew up 45 minutes to an hour from where I live right now. So we have a lot of guys like that became great wrestlers and they end up wrestling for someone else. So right now, notably, guys like Zahid Valencia, who's in Arizona State, national champ. Again, Zahid just wrestled Jordan Burroughs. It was a crazy match. He was winning, and then he got tired and lost. He's a California kid. We have many more, but definitely those Pennsylvania boys are killers. So, all right, we've got a super chat that I've got to pay some attention to. Paragliding Nut 26. Can you, Brian, you give us extremely detailed information about grappling. You're the best. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I thought it was going to be a question. Thank you, Paragliding Nut 26. So just drop $5. Thank you. I appreciate you. I do my best to give you very detailed things. Thanks for your Darsh videos. Been Darshing people in class a lot lately. Knee cut to half guard to Darsh. Sweet. That's awesome. How do you think Corellon would do in jiu-jitsu if it was around back then? Skeptic asks. I don't really Corellon is obviously he's a god in wrestling. Incredible wrestler, Greco-Roman wrestler, but it doesn't always translate well. So I'm not saying that he couldn't be. I don't really know, but he's also, if you think about it, he's a really big guy. The way he wrestled, I don't think that would do very well in jiu-jitsu. I'm not saying he couldn't win. I'm not saying he couldn't be a champion. But when I think about somebody the size of Corellon, it's just such two different worlds. Corellon's very famous. But even in freestyle, like you might even ask, why was Corellon the greatest Greco-Roman wrestler of his day? And why wasn't he the greatest freestyle wrestler? I don't know the exact answer, but I will posit that it's probably because Alexander Corellon couldn't wrestle freestyle nearly as well as he could wrestle Greco-Roman. So freestyle is much closer to Greco-Roman than Greco-Roman is to jiu-jitsu. So a lot of people think of Corellon, they just know how good he was, so they think, well, he must have been able to be the best in jiu-jitsu if he wanted to. But if that's true, then why didn't he become the freestyle, 3-time Olympic champ, however many time world champ? So it's difficult to say. But my first thought is, of course, he could be great. He's an incredible athlete, incredibly strong. He understands wrestling, so why couldn't he be good at jiu-jitsu? But my first thoughts are he doesn't move. Like, just picture Corellon and then picture someone who moves like Gordon Ryan. And Gordon Ryan being right now one of the best jiu-jitsu guys in the world, or Buchecha, or any of these guys, like the way they move when they're on the mat, Roger Gracie. What would Roger Gracie do to Corellon? Well, Corellon could definitely take him down and slam him, but would he be able to maneuver past his guard and submit him? Not really. Not in jiu-jitsu. If it's a fight, that's a different story, But he would definitely have a style where he wouldn't be a submission master. He would be more like a submission defender. But again, that's assuming I'm picturing the Corellon that we know. That's not to say that if he didn't start with jiu-jitsu since he was born, he would obviously be a different person. So anyway, there's my thoughts. So yeah, people are still mentioning different states, and Schultz brothers, California. Yeah, we had Dave Schultz, Mark Schultz, both California kids from Palo Alto. There's lots. I mean, I could go off and name tons of California guys that have done great. Again, there's many from all kinds of states, but anyway, California's pretty good. Let's see. Brian, you helped me when I was bored. I haven't even tried your techniques yet, but cheers to you and your good striker friend. Stop talking. Cheat? What is cheat saying? I don't even know who that is. Did I miss? I don't know what that means. Anyway. Let's see. Coach, have you competed in the NCAA? Andy Kim. No, I have not. What's your opinion on Travis Stevens? Incredible. Travis Stevens, silver medalist in the Olympics. What can you say about that? Jiu-Jitsu black belt, Judo Olympian, incredible. So thank you guys so much. So guys, again, I want to say thank you. Happy New Year. I know this year was kind of crazy. We with the pandemic, it's been a nutty time, but maybe it brought a lot of more people to YouTube. If you think about it, I don't know. I did notice that when I'll say this, when the pandemic first happened, when it first started, everybody went to YouTube. And I thought at first, I'm going to get a lot more views on my channel. It actually didn't happen, because my theory is everyone went to YouTube. So if you guys think about it, the market got flooded with YouTubers when it happened. So people started going to YouTube, starting YouTube channels. And I thought immediately, I go, you know what? This is going to wear off. All these instructors are going to start their YouTube channel. Then they're going to realize how hard it is to run a YouTube channel. It's very difficult. I mean, you need discipline. You got to keep going. You got to keep after it. You got to do videos constantly. And unless you have a personality and the drive to do that, you're probably going to fail and give up. People a lot of times are asking me about YouTube channels. I may have Jeff Glover on my channel very soon. He's contacted me and he wants me to help him get started. I don't know. We'll see. I told him to come out to my gym, and we'll try to talk, and I'll help him out. But you know, if someone even with a big name like Jeff Glover, if he started a YouTube channel, he has a huge advantage over many YouTube channels just by his name recognition. And if he doesn't work hard, if he doesn't, which is what I would be telling him, if we meet up again, he's got to work hard at it. He can't be lazy with it. And if he's lazy with it, nobody's going to pay attention, and it's just going to fall apart. And so we'll see. If he wants to come in, he said he may come in next week or the week after. He and I will have a conversation about it. But just talking about YouTube. So going back to the pandemic, I thought to myself, I know why nobody, I'm actually getting less views. My views went down when the pandemic started. And I was like, yeah, the market's flooded. Everybody's starting YouTube channels. So there's too many videos, and people can watch other videos and they're not watching mine as much. I definitely noticed there was a huge dip when the pandemic started, and I thought it'd go up. But then I did start to go up, and I feel that it was exactly what I predicted. These instructors, after a few months, would basically give up. The other thing about YouTube is everybody thinks they're going to get rich, and you're not. Guys, I'm not rich, but they think they're going to get rich when they get into YouTube. They hear stories like, oh, so-and-so ninja is a video gamer. He plays Fortnite and he makes millions of dollars. And they think that, they're going to get rich by getting into YouTube. And it's so not the truth. You got to work your ass off. And then if you can get tons and tons of views on your channel, you can make a little bit of ad revenue, guys. So, sure, I have a little bit of revenue as well coming from donations through Patreon. Now we have the membership, which really helps, but in no way am I killing it with with YouTube ad revenue. There was a time, and I wasn't really even doing YouTube much when that happened. They called it YouTube Ad Adpocalypse, and there was a point where Google actually kind of lowered the ad revenue for the YouTubers. And again, I don't even know exactly what it is. It's not like I have a say in it. Google's just gonna pay YouTubers what they want to pay them, what the deal is, and that's it. You don't get to negotiate or anything like that. That's why you see so many YouTubers selling courses or selling videos or going through Patreon or membership, things like that. Because you can't exactly, make a living on YouTube unless if you see a YouTuber with millions, or I would say many, many hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and they are very active, then they are making a living off of YouTube. I am not able to make a living off of YouTube where I am right now. Can't make a living off of it. It's definitely nice to have a little, bump in the money I make, especially right now because my gym is almost empty and we're still paying our rent. So it's nice that YouTube is there to try to supplement to help keep my gym open during this tough time for small businesses. But you're not going to get rich on YouTube. So why did I get into this? I just wanted to say, when we've had this tough year, and then it was down, and then it came back up, and then we hit the 100K mark, and then now we're at 113 and some change, 113,000 subscribers, which is awesome. Again, I would love to have what other people have, and they have way more, but I'm a busy guy and I can only put so much energy into this. So I want to make it better, and maybe someday I'll have 200,000. I don't know. Maybe I'll have 500,000 someday. I don't know. I'm not sure at what limit. Martial arts isn't it's not video games where you can do YouTube or those prank videos where you see the guys that do pranks and they're making, 100,000 a month, just literally doing pranks and stuff like that. So, it is possible for me to maybe kind of go a little bit in that direction a little bit and kind of like try to make my channel mix in with techniques and then a little bit of craziness, but just to try to get more subscribers and make more money at it. But as of right now, I've stayed true to the original channel goal, which was to teach you guys grappling. That was the original goal. Sure, every now and then I can bring in other things. Obviously, striking, teaching you striking, that's still in line with my goal. But maybe funny videos, or if I did some kind of crazy grappling video that basically was very clickbaity and got a ton of people that aren't even interested in learning jiu-jitsu or grappling, and they they watched the video because it was watch this wrestler take this guy down in the street or whatever it is. And if I did a video like that to get a bunch of views, it would obviously help the revenue of the channel and bring more people. Maybe more people would find the channel and then fall in love with learning. Go find a school in their area because they're like, wow, I like this guy. This guy's teaching techniques, and maybe I want to, maybe I want to learn jiu-jitsu. Yeah, so I just saw Ryan Liu, black belt pretends to be a white belt, vids and all. Yeah, like stuff like that is total. Like if I did a couple videos every now and then and I dropped them on my channel, that would definitely help the channel. I still haven't even, that's untouched territory on my channel. I could totally, with the momentum that we already have with TeachMeGrappling, I could easily, do something like that. And take my channel a step further, if my knees were healthy, imagine if I went to another school and, we did I know that it's already been done, but, and then I go and pretend to be a first day white belt and roll with everybody and, choke a bunch of people out. That would be pretty funny. Or if there was a wrestler that did a video where he's on a street corner, like a homeless guy, and he's like, take me down. If you take me down, you get $100 or something like that. And, on a little small little mat, if I did something like that, I'm sure we would get, some crazy views and maybe draw more people to grappling, or maybe just make some ad revenue. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really, it's not all about the money. So that's why I haven't gone that way. I've always stayed true to the channel's original goal, but maybe I will in the future, guys. We've definitely had talks. I've had talks with Anton about it, and maybe we could do stuff like that. And it would be entertaining for you guys. I mean, doing maybe a couple grappling prank videos, things like that. It's entertainment. So I could see how that would be good for the channel. It would help the channel more. And obviously when finances are better for the channel, more energy can go into the channel. So anyway, this year, man, I hope in the new year we can get a little bit better. Obviously COVID's not going to go away anytime soon. It's not like it's going to be gone the second we do the countdown tonight, but I hope in the future we can get over this a little bit more, and that way my gym doesn't have to go under, and we can continue to do what we love. So I know a lot of you guys are probably in places where you can train. Others still haven't even trained, since the beginning of 2020. So if that's you, I'm sorry, but hopefully we'll get back to it. So guys, I want to really thank you. So happy New Year to all of you. Thank you so much for watching Teach Me Grappling, and I appreciate you all. I'm sorry I can't answer every single question and help everyone. Again, I'm going to finish with I read just about every comment I can. I know I don't always reply, guys. I want to put the energy into the channel, but I'm doing so many things to keep my head above water right now in my life that it's hard for me to reply to everyone's comments. And I know you guys have questions, but I am reading them, and eventually I will get to as many of these videos as I can. So I got tons of ideas, and I'll get to it. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. I love you guys. Thank you for all you do for me. Happy New Year. Enjoy your holiday today, and we got a new year coming up, so let's make it a good one. Appreciate you guys. I'll be back for more next time with more great stuff. All right. See ya.